On this episode of Team Pilipinas, Christina Knott is in a furious race against time for a berth in the Tokyo Olympics.
I wasn't even expecting anything, honestly, because it's like I've been training in grass. That was the first time I got on the track. So that moment was special with the fact that it was done in the middle of a pandemic.
Our archery team is in the thick of the Archery World Cup, their last shot to get into the Tokyo Olympics.
We have to get a medal that top 3 po sa elimination round. So, any of the 3, pasok na po.
And we discover how easy and hard it is to be training with your spouse.
Ang partnership sa dance sports, kahit hindi kayo, isipin nyo na mag-asawa kayo. Kasi kung sa labas ng sayaw, hindi kayong dalawa na relation, pagdating sa dancing, mag-asawa kayo.
Welcome to Team Pilipinas. I'm Boyet Sison. Christina Knott has carved her own path as a Filipino athlete, including breaking one of Vida de Vega's long-standing records. But will her trailblazing lead her to the Tokyo Olympics? I spoke with Christina from Florida. On this particular segment of Team Pilipinas, we have two-time Southeast Asian gold medalist, Christina Knott. Christina, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, first off, right after the Southeast Asian Games in 2019, the pandemic hit. How have you been able to cope?
So in the beginning, it was hard to get on facilities, but I live close to a park, so I've mainly been in grass like all of 2020.
You've been able to compete in a lot of Olympic qualifiers as of late, and recently you were able to get 2 silvers at a meet in Italy. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, so Italy was basically an opportunity to get my feet back wet, traveling abroad and competing after long travels. It was a relearning experience, but I'm just glad to have performed the way I performed.
Throughout all of this, Christina, a lot of athletes have continued to train. How about you? How have you been able to keep your physical conditioning on track?
Well, facilities and gyms are pretty much open to full capacity here in Florida. So as of 2021, I've been able to train as normal as I usually train.
Talking about the forthcoming Olympics in Tokyo, is there any special training that you are doing to finally get to qualify?
I'm not so much into hard training right now. Right now, I'm just competing. So this is probably the most I've competed in since college, really, because I'm chasing the qualifying standard. So as of now, we're just competing every week.
You've been competing almost every week, and by the time it's the Olympics, the actual competitions will not be even that long. How have you been adapting, or how have you been preparing to be at the tip-top Olympic shape?
I just been trying to listen to my coach and listen to my body and maneuver training through those avenues.
What honestly do you think are your chances to qualify for Tokyo?
I really think I can qualify. It's more so when. That's I'm just waiting. Man, when is my moment gonna come? And just being patient in that is the most challenging part of it all. Because it's there. It's just a moment of when.
Is it more mental than physical?
At this point, yeah, it's all mental.
talking about now the opportunity for you to break a record that has been long-standing in Philippine sports for the longest time. How did it feel to break the record of the legendary Lydia De Vega?
The 200, it felt good because I was in front of the home crowd. You know, I was able to do it in front of my fans in the Philippines. So that moment was special. When I broke it in the 100, that's like in the middle of the pandemic. So going into that track meet, I wasn't even like expecting anything, honestly, because it's like I've been training in grass. That was the first time I got on the track. So that moment was special with the fact that it was done in the middle of a pandemic with everything being closed. So both of those moments were special in their own individual ways.
The Southeast Asian Games will be also held this year. That will be in November. Are there is there anything special that you are doing to be able to get yourself in the condition not only for the Olympics but more so for the Southeast Asian Games? So then you'll be defending actually.
Right. So before I heard the news, we were going to train as if we're training for any big competition. But my coach sent me an article and said that there's like a new surge of cases going on in Vietnam. So they're talking about postponing it, not canceling it, just postponing it to the following year to get the cases and to just get the COVID pandemic thing under wraps over there. So I don't think the SEA Games is going to happen this year.
But if ever it happens, and when it happens, what events are you going to be competing in?
I probably would be doing the same exact things: the 1, the 2, both 4x1s, the mixed, and the women's 4x1.
Amongst the 3 of them, what are your favorites?
Probably the 4x1. The mixed one was probably my favorite. I've never done it, but it's really fun. Yeah.
Well, Christina, it's been wonderful talking to you. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope to be able to talk to you very soon. Thank you very much, Christina Knott.
Thank you.
Our archery team is in the thick of the Archery World Cup, their last shot to get into the Tokyo Olympics.
We have to get a medal that top 3 po sa elimination round. So, any of the 3, pasok na po.
And we discover how easy and hard it is to be training with your spouse.
Ang partnership sa dance sports, kahit hindi kayo, isipin nyo na mag-asawa kayo. Kasi kung sa labas ng sayaw, hindi kayong dalawa na relation, pagdating sa dancing, mag-asawa kayo.
Bahagi na ng buhay nating mga Pilipino ang sports. Mula sa panahon ng unos, sa tamis ng tagumpay, sa kabila ng pagbabago ng buhay, ang Philippine Sports Commission ay patuloy na maglilingkod sa sambayanan at atletang Pilipino.
Pag-usapan natin ang archery na may isa pang pagkakataon para makapasok ang mga archer natin sa Tokyo Olympics via the Archery World Cup na gaganapin sa Paris, France. Kausap natin ngayong araw si Coach Clint Sayo at ang national archer nating si Pia Bidaure. Coach, bago nag-pandemic, ano yung kalendaryo ninyo, ano yung plano ninyo na naudlot dahil nagkaroon ng COVID-19?
Sa totoo lang sir, wala namang pinagbago doon sa activities namin or schedules, no? Kasi during the pandemic, tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung mga preparations ng mga archers namin. Though nagkanya-kanya sila ng uwi sa kanya-kanyang probinsya, but then meron kaming mga programa na ibinigay sa kanila para ma-continue lang yung training. And then during their training sa kanilang probinsya, meron ding mga probinsya kasi na it's not that really tight when it comes to sporting activity, especially sa Dumaguete. And of course, archery is one of the sport na masasabi ko na merong social distancing. Normally, makaka-train kami ng kanya-kanya. Kung sakasakali man na sa isang lugar kami nagtitrain, we still have the, kumbaga mayroon kaming social distancing. We can train 5 meters apart, 10 meters apart. So, depende sa availability ng lugar. But malaki-laki din naman yung mga lugar ng mga bawat archer natin. So, wala pong problema. Tuloy-tuloy lang.
Yeah, emotionally, how did it feel na nagkaroon ng pandemic? Meron ka bang mga pangamba na baka hindi matuloy yung pagsabak niyo sa mga competition to go to Tokyo?
It was quite challenging po, pero we're training naman every day so that anytime na sabihin na may tournament, we're ready. So, yun po.
Coach, just to familiarize the audience, those who are not too familiar with archery, how do we select the archers for various competitions, and how do we select the events that the archers are going to try to get into Tokyo for?
Okay, getting into the Olympics, the World Championships, meron kaming weekly, monthly na mga evaluation. Then there is a score being set for you to reach, okay, na dapat yung minimum qualifying score maabot mo. And then, like the World Championships, it's a world ranking shoot. Merong mga Asian Cup, which is also a world ranking competition. Pag dito sa local, before ka makapunta ng isang competition, you have to meet the criteria given. So, if you are not able to meet the criteria, then sad to say, hindi ka makakapunta. We are really pushing the national team. For example, merong iba na hindi nakakamit ng criteria, but we ask them to maintain their position. They should be at least in the top 3 position. Ngayon, kung ikaw member ng national pool, then you were not able to maintain your position in the top 3, then sad to say, you will not be able to go competition abroad.
Is it just a matter of hitting a certain score, or do you have to go attend multiple qualifiers to get into the Olympics?
The World Archery Philippines set a multiple qualifying tournaments locally, and then of course we choose those competition abroad na it is in related po doon sa pupuntahan namin. Like for example, itong World Championships in France, from the World Archery itself, sa Mother Federation says that this would be a qualifying tournament for the Olympics. So yun po yung pinipili namin na pupuntahan. Meron din mga Asian level. So kung ano yung nakalagay na world ranking or for Olympic qualifying, yun yung kinukuha namin.
Okay, Coach, given that we're sending 6 archers to this Olympic qualifier, realistically and honestly, ilan sa kanila sa tingin ninyo ang talagang makakapasok sa Tokyo?
Honestly speaking, we are gunning down for the team event.
Okay.
Kasi if we will be able to get to the team event, automatically 3 tao yon. So they can play with the individual event and at the same time team event. So yun
pag sinabi mo, Coach, 3 tao, kahit sino yon?
Hindi, kahit sino. Kasi 3 lang naman yung entry natin. 3 babae, 3 lalaki.
Okay.
So yung pinupunteriya namin talaga is the team to qualify. So pag team ang nag-qualify, automatically 3 tao yun can play in the individual event also. But if individual lang, so syempre kung isang tao lang siya, isa lang siya talaga makakapasok. But it would be best if the team can the team can qualify, then everyone can go also for the individual event.
Okay. Pia, Kumusta naman yung training mo? Paano siya nagbago nung nagkaroon ng pandemic?
It's more like the same except less people naman po.
Wala naman takot na hindi matuloy yung mga events sa pupuntahan mo.
Expected na din po, but we were just hoping for the best para matuloy po lahat ng planned events po.
Coach, you were supposed to go to Taiwan, no? Anong nangyari dun sa biyahe ninyo na yun?
Okay, prior to the Olympic qualifying, meron kaming plan na we will go to Taiwan and have our training camp together with the national team ng Taiwan. It so happened, nung palapit, ang nagka-problema doon sa Taiwan. Parang umakyat yung level ng COVID sa kanila. So, they informed the World Archery Philippines, si Sir Don, na I think you will not be able to push through sa pagpunta nyo dito kasi ang level dito ngayon is tumaas, parang nag-level 4 or 3. Then sabi nila lahat ng training centers pinasara. So hindi namin kontrolado, wala kami magagawa. So what we did is just continue our training kung nasaan kami.
Coach, given na pagpunta nyo sa Paris, medyo malapit-lapit na yan sa Olympics, babalik pa ba kayo ng Pilipinas kung sakaling may mag-qualify na sa Tokyo?
Kung sakasakali, ang plan namin is to come back and then siguro kasi hindi kami pwede magstay dun sa France. So ang gagawin na lang yata is babalik kami dito, then we will see how or where are we going to train again, look for a place na something similar doon sa weather and setup ng archery venue sa Olympics po.
Ayaw niyo mag-empake ng madami, ha?
Normally when we travel, we just simply travel light kasi yung equipment namin ang bigat na . So normally we have, if some of them do have 2 sets of bows, some of them mga spare. So yung allotted weights sa airline kasi restricted talaga, it's just 30. Sometimes equipment pa lang umaabot na ng 25. So ginagawa namin uniform, less, yung parang sige, maglalaba-laba lang tayo, ganon. Anyway, mabilis lang naman matuyo lahat ng mga uniforms namin.
Okay. Pia, given all the changes, may isang taon, halos isang taon at kalahati na tayong nasa ganitong sitwasyon, how confident are you still na makakapasok kayo sa Tokyo?
We're all training very hard, so it boosts our confidence level na makapasok po sa Tokyo.
And also the support coming from different, from the PSC, the POC, the World Archery Philippines, the people around us. It really helps, especially where we train. Lahat ng needs namin is 100% na binibigay. So wala kaming naging problema when it comes sa facilities and preparation for our training po.
Oh, that's great. No, you're very lucky, compared to other sports na talagang walang-wala or napako yung atleta sa bansa kung nasaan sila, nung nag-pandemic. Looking ahead, in this qualifier, who will be your toughest rivals for the remaining slots for the Olympics?
We consider every team as a tough contender. So, syempre, ano na lang to. Para sa akin, we are prepared mentally, physically. We have prepared for this for a year and a half or more. So, tignan na lang natin sa laban. Kasi sinasabi ko naman sa mga bata na there's nothing to be afraid of. We have prepared for this one. Be confident and believe that kaya nyo yan. Magagawa nyo kung ano yung nagagawa ng iba. Of course, you can also do it. Kasi naghanda tayo. Everything is with us during our preparation. We have everything. Ganun po.
Okay. Pia, as a last word, anong kailangan mangyari? What needs to happen for you and the team to get into the Olympics?
We have to get a medal, top 3 po sa elimination round. So, any of the three, pasok na po.
Okay, great. Coach,
Yes
what
po.
are there any remaining challenges left for this Olympic qualifier, or you just have to show up and do your best?
I think wala na. Everything is ready. France is already ready to accept us. So I think all we have to do is shoot our best and, talagang buhos kung ano yung pinaghandaan namin sa qualifying tournament na to.
When most couples go out ballroom dancing, they each get their own dance instructor so that they don't fight over steps. Dance sport athletes Stephanie Sabalo and Angelo Marquez are in a different situation. They train together and are married to one another. But how does that work out? Here's Nisi Casiano.
Welcome to Team Pilipinas. I'm Nisi Icasiano. Chemistry plays a vital role in the field of dance sport. But do dynamics change if your dance partner is also your partner off the dance floor? We'll know how it works as we have a tete-a-tete with married couple Stephanie Sabalo and Michael Angelo Marquez. I know the both of you, you've been into the sport for so long, pero paano ba kayo nagsimula? Let's start with Steph.
Yung partnership namin nagsimula into parang try out lang muna, experiment kung magwo-work. But then yung umpisa niya agad is a really struggle. But with that struggle kasi we pursued with it because we share the same dream, we share the same passion, and we are the same when it comes to working on things we like to do ba. We are both goal-oriented. Yung sa amin was a little bit late bloomer yung mga opportunities, and I think as you can say parang success in the field of dance sports yung sa amin. But then we love the journey and we love the hardship because it gives us parang ngayon a purpose of telling our story na parang dreaming of something is really a hard work talaga yon, na hindi lang siya basta dream ko yun, hindi lang siya basta wish. It's something that you need to work on a day-to-day basis, and you need to stay focused on something na gagawin niyo. And very happy ako kasi parang nakahanap ako ng partner na same as mindset as I am. Kaya yun.
Ano yung mga bagay na sumubok sa pasensya mo at katatagaan nung bago ka pa lang sa sport na ito?
Syempre andun yung discrimination, lalo na galing akong Baguio. So, proving first to your family. And ito kasi namin, dance sport. So, it's dancing. Skills yung kailangan. And ang first struggle mo is proving to your family that it really meant to your heart, to your passion na may mangyayari sa'yo. And then secondly, sa mga friendship mo or yung sa mga kasamahan mo na parang tipong ipupursue mo talaga yan. So parang at first talaga magda-doubt ka on paano mo itutuloy yung gusto mong gawin. But then I found myself na nandito na sa Manila kasi parang ang nabuo sa isip ko noon was mas malapit sa pangarap ko pag pumunta ako sa Maynila. Nag-go with the flow lang ako, and then parang sometime along the way, ayun, nag-meet kami, nagkita kami sa kasi raketera ako eh. So nag-compete ako ng male to male, doon yung first na meet namin na parang kunyari babae ka, magpapanggap ka na lalaki, parang gano'n. And nanalo ako doon sa competition na yun, and doon niya ako unang nakilala. And doon kami unang nagkausap, and then after that, ang dami pang nangyari along the way kasi meron din akong commitments na partner before, but then nung hindi na nag-work out, then we decided na parang why shouldn't we try out, parang gano'n. And then yun.
Ikaw naman, Angelo, how did you start this journey into this sport?
Ako kasi nagsimula ako ng 7 years old.
Mas maaga
Kasi yung father ko, kuwan siya, DI, yung dance instructor. So, syempre, as anak ka ng DI, so nung bata kami, parang may spare time si Papa na turuan kami nung sister ko. Yun yung unang-unang partner ko, yung sister ko. Habang may spare time siya, tinuturuan niya kami ng mga sayaw, gano'n. Hanggang siguro one time, parang na-hook ako talaga nung bata ako na talagang nagustuhan ko siya. Pero nag-stop kasi yun kasi parang nag-studies talaga muna. Nung unang nagsimula kami ng sayaw ng father ko, nung tinuruan niya kami, hinahinto yun hanggang dumating ako ng high school. So may competition sa school na nag-sign up ako na hindi nila alam. Tapos nagpa-practice na ako na hindi nila alam. Tapos one time na in-invite ko sila papa at saka si mama na pumunta ng school. Akala nila na call parent ako. Hindi nila pala alam na may competition na ako. Parang doon nag-start talaga yung pinaka-journey ng ng dancing career ko. One time na in-invite kami ng isang coach dito sa Manila na maglipat dito kasi titrain kami for free. Pahirapan kasi syempre isa-sacrifice ko yung college studies ko. So pahirapan ako sa parents ko na i-convince sila na pumunta ako ng Manila. And then also sa family ng father side ko. Kasi mas gusto nila na gagraduate ako ng college, mas gusto nila graduate college ako, gano'n. So parang ang dami kong pinagdaanan na tao bago ako napayagan na pumunta dito sa Manila. May dalawa akong kapatid pa na nag-aaral. So sabi ko parang ipupush ko yung Manila kahit na parang ayaw kasi gusto ko rin makatulong sa parents ko na alam mo yun, na bigyan sila ng magandang opportunity ba na may katuwang ba. Hindi talaga fully ako talaga, para at least may katuwang lang na hindi rin sila mabigatan.
Ngayon naman pag-usapan natin paano nag-cross yung landas nyo sa sport na to. Yung isa galing Bacolod, yung isa galing Baguio. Different cultures, different upbringings. Pero kayo ba sa una nyong sabak sa dance floor, masasabi nyong may chemistry or pinaghirapan nyo para makuha yun?
Yun yung struggle sa practice. Yun naman ang sa aming dalawa. Sa practice, dun mo makikita yung differences namin dahil Bacolod siya, Baguio ako. But then in terms of performing already yung gusto namin gawin, that's the time, dun siguro yung chemistry. Kasi when we perform, basta nagja-jive na lang lahat eh. Pero behind that doors, dun yung struggle. But then when it comes to performing already, selfless na siya, selfless na rin ako. It's all about with that moment. Kumbaga yung moment of performing matters most on the both of us. Hindi na yung differences, hindi na yung struggles, bagkus yung moment of performing that one ba. Parang yun yung I think na parang kaya parang inaalagaan din namin kasi every partnership, every team has its flaws. Walang perfection yan. And for us, we accepted that when it comes on working something behind doors, hindi pa sa performing, is talagang andun yung away, andun yung parang disagreements, andun yung arguments. It's because we are both of us, we care so much when that moment comes na ipo-perform na namin.
Siguro nag-jive kami dahil pareho kami gustong maging number 1 ng Pilipinas. Parang ganon, parang nagkataon ba na galing ako ng Bacolod tapos ang mindset ko gusto kong maging top ng Philippines. Tapos galing siya ng Baguio, tapos ang mindset niya gusto niya maging athlete ng Philippines, gusto niya maging number 1 din ng Philippines. Parang sabi ko sa kanila na nagtatanong sa amin, parang siguro doon, parang nagkaroon kami ng same goal, same passion, nag-meet kaming dalawa. Kaya siguro walang bumitaw sa amin dalawa sa partnership. Kahit anong struggle namin dalawa, walang bumitaw. Inisip namin na magkaroon ng legacy ba sa timeline namin ngayon, na magkaroon kami ng legacy ba in the next 10 years na pag sinabing Angelo and Steph, may babalikan sila ba na sila tong dalawang to, alam mo yan. So parang may legacy kami maiwanan ba sa pinasok naming sports.
Bahagi na ng buhay nating mga Pilipino ang sports. Mula sa panahon ng unos, sa tamis ng tagumpay, sa kabila ng pagbabago ng buhay, ang Philippine Sports Commission ay patuloy na maglilingkod sa sambayanan at atletang Pilipino.
nyo nalaman na itong tandem nyo on the dance floor would work and do wonders?
Yung future naming dalawa nung nagsimula kami, talagang wala kami idea kung anong mangyayari sa aming dalawa. Kung maging number one kami, hindi natin alam, parang ganon. So, parang para sa amin, laging sinasabi ni Steph na every time na mag-compete kami, kailangan natin ibigay lang yung pinaka-best natin. Na kung ano man ang pwede nating ibigay at yung Diyos na yung bahala na mag-decide kung anong karapat dapat para sa amin. So, in terms of seeing the future, talaga wala kami idea sa magiging mangyari. Wala kami idea na magiging SEA Games representative kami. Wala kami idea na magiging number one kami ng Philippines. Parang wala, parang binigay lang namin yung pinaka-best namin na kung ano yung talent na binigay ng Diyos sa amin na ipakita namin sa tao, i-share namin sa tao, especially sa mga bata ngayon na sinishare namin yung passion namin para to be influence sa kanila na ma-pursue nila yung pangarap nila in the future.
Oo. Pwedeng mag-collapse yung partnership namin in terms kasi syempre pag lalo na deprive ko ng opportunities tapos parang ang dami pang di naniniwala sa partnership nyo na parang ang daming nagda-doubt, ang daming nagda-down, pero parang I think we just focus on the work and we trusted the process. Parang, and then nagugulat na lang kami sa mga nagiging result and then parang di mo na pangahawakan yung validation ng ibang tao bagkus yung parang kung ano na lang yung naintindihan namin dun sa journey namin ba.
Masasabi niyo ba, is it safe to say that the both of you are destined for each other? Kasi by looking at your backgrounds, ikaw, Steph, for what I know, started with cheer dance in college, tama ba?
Opo.
So, nasa
Tama
Baguio ka, si Angelo nasa Bacolod, who started at the very young age sa dancing or sa dance sports. Ngayon, pinagtagpo kayo sa Manila. I mean, safe to say ba na talagang you the both of you are meant for each other?
Very committed siya na person, hindi siya lang iwan ng ere. So ako naman, naghahanap ako ng partner. Kasi lahat ng partner ko hindi nag-work sa akin. Parang mag-stay lang ng 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, pinakamatagal, ganoon. So parang ang hinahanap ko yung committed. Ngayon naman siya naman very committed at yung mga partner naman niya ang hindi committed. Parang gano'n yung mga young pa kami.
Tapos nung nawala na siya dun sa coach niya.
Nawala na ako sa coach
Tapos
ko.
ako naman, parang ang nangyari sa akin, no, nawala na akong partner din sa competition. Nag-aano na lang ako, nag-charity work ako magturo ng mga bata-bata sa bandang Pasay. Tapos, umuwi na pala siya ng Bacolod.
May common friend kami na na-meet niya.
Yung na-meet ko, tapos parang sinabi sa akin si Kuya Eric, yun, sabi niya sa akin na, uy Steph, wala ka na palang partner ngayon. Si Angelo rin wala ring partner.
Umuwi na ng Bacolod.
Tapos parang, sabi ko, try mo kaya. Alam mo, ang tagal nyo nang dapat pinag-prepare up kayo noon. Ngayon, umuwi na siya. Sayang naman. Ganon. And then hanggang sa nag-usap kami, and then at that moment, meron din akong commitment, nag-standard ako. But then, siya naman, consistent siya na sige, hintayin ko yung pag-standard mo. So, ano lang talaga siguro, timing.
Pero ngayon, the biggest question ay paano napunta yung pinaghirapan yung chemistry on the dance floor sa mga personal nyong buhay at umusbong bilang isang relationship?
Ang isip talaga namin is more on career talaga. Hindi sumagi sa isip namin na maging kami.
Naging mag-best friend kami.
Naging mag-best friend kami dalawa kasi parang isang group kaming sa studio na magbe-best friend. So parang wala talaga sa isip namin na magliligawan ko siya, alam mo 'yon. So tumagal kami nag-start kami mag-partner 2008.
Siguro mga 4 years o 5 years.
5 years kami, parang parang kailan tayo na gano'n.
Meron kami mga awkward, just nagtatawanan kami. Pero mas more on a buddy-buddy kasi kami.
5 years sa partnership namin na talagang focus talaga kami dun sa career namin. So,
I think naging struggle din yun kasi dumating din sa point ng tagu-taguan ng feelings. Dumating din sa punto na binigyan din kami God's timing ng moment na parang i-accept na parang maybe may feelings nga sa isa't isa. Then yun.
Late.
Acceptance talaga would really liberate you eh.
Steph, naging mas madali ba or naging mas mahirap na dahil hindi lang kayo partners on the dance floor kasi pati off it ay couple kayo. Paano nagiging dynamics nyo when you compete tapos may problema?
Ang reality niya is very difficult. It really takes yung sa amin learnings kasi naging mas challenging siya. I think challenging, di naman hirap, challenging. But then the good about him, ako kasi very emotional ako, very sensitive. The good about him, he has this approach na what happens in the studio or in the gym or in the practice stays in the studio. Ako yung medyo yun yung medyo inaaral ko. But then parang it's part of growing. And then yun yung mahirap na minsan, like for example, siya if he wanted something sa choreography or he wanted to squeeze something in my ability, minsan I take it personal, minsan parang I take more kung paano niya sabihin, hindi yung intention niya on why sinasabi niya yon, parang ganun. So it's a continuous process of learning up to now for me, and for him he's also adjusting, so it's everyday adjustment ba. It doesn't mean na we are a couple of the dance floor of our sport, it means parang perfect kami. No, actually mas marami yung misagreements, yung disagreements namin and arguments when it comes to our approach in our career, in our dancing.
Guys, you tied the knot in 2018, pero kahit matagal na kayong magkasama before kayo ikasal, mas naging komportable ba ngayon na nagpo-perform kayo dahil mag-asawa na kayo? Angelo, you can.
Para sa akin, parang mas naging intimate ba? Mas naging intimate yung reactions ko sa sayaw niya, reactions sa sayaw ko, mas naging mas parang genuine. Mas naging couple lalo siya sa sayaw. Kasi yung coach namin dati na si Paul Harris, from London siya, lagi niya sa aming sinasabi, nung hindi pa kaming dalawa, hindi pa kami mag-boyfriend, girlfriend noon, sabi niya sa amin na parang ang partnership sa dance sports, kahit hindi kayo, isipin nyo na mag-asawa kayo. Kasi kung sa labas ng sayaw, hindi kayong dalawa na relation, pagdating sa dancing, mag-asawa kayo. So yung emotion mo at emotion ko daw is we need to think na parang kaming dalawa na mag-boyfriend girlfriend kami noon dati, sabi niya. Kailangan ipakita mo yung karakter mo or yung sayaw mo, ibinibenta mo sa audience na kayong dalawa, yung pinapakita mong emotion genuine. So dumating sa point na nag-girlfriend na kami, so slowly nagiging genuine na yung reaction namin dalawa sa dancing, yung pag nagsayaw kami ng rumba, yung parang love dance, parang nakikita na parang nagkakaroon kami ng magandang connection. Tapos nung nag-asawa na kami, doon lalo namin na improve yung sinasabi ni Paul Harris na ito pala yung sinasabi niya.
Telling the story.
Na parang pag nagsayaw kami, mag-asawa kami. Ngayon mag-asawa na kami, yun lalo siyang lalong na-improve yung aming
narrative.
Yung narrative, yung storyline na binibenta namin sa audience every time na mag-perform kami. Mas lalo siyang nagiging authentic ba? Nagiging genuine siya sa mata ng mga audience na nagpo-perform kami. Also sa judge also.
Of course, na pag-uusapan na ang pagpapamilya, I believe, 2 years, 3 years na kayong kasal. Pero ano yung milestone achievements na gusto nyo i-share sa magiging anak nyo? Let's start with Steph.
Siyempre, dream namin yun na magkaanak kami. But siguro I'll start first with trusting God's timing that he or she could have whatever goal or dreams she wants or he wants. But I need to parang tell her na parang everything that goes into your life comes with great learnings ba. I want my child to stay grounded that in achieving something, you can do it ethically, you can do it with values. Kasi both of us, like kami, I think one of the basic foundation of our partnership is values.
Tama yung sabi ni Steph na kailangan itanim namin sa mga anak namin na kailangan magkaroon sila ng values and yung respect sa mga tao na makasalamuha nila. Pero in terms of pangarap, namin kung ipo-pursue ng anak namin. Siguro sa tingin ko, kung ano man yung maisip ng anak namin na gustong gawin in her or his life, na anong gusto niya, siguro nandun kami 100%, kasi maintindihan namin kasi dumating din kami sa time na ang dami naming sports na isip eh. Ang dami kong gustong pasukan na sports. Pumasok ako sa basketball, wala rin kasi hindi ako marunong. So pumasok ako sa sipak takraw, sa badminton, sa track and field. So ang dami-dami kong tinry eh. So para sa akin siguro same sa ginawa ng parents ko, na parang okay, parang kung ano yung gusto mo, sige, support, hanggang siguro dumating sa point na mahanap niya yung right career na para sa kanya. Kung hindi man siya into sports, into business man siya, or into art man siya, it's okay. Parang para sa akin, kung ano yung sports na, kung ano yung career na gusto niya, yung virtue na ituturo namin sa kanya, and kung paano niya iharapin yung struggle sa magiging gusto niya in the future, siguro doon namin ipapasok yung discipline and yung mga pwede namin i-share sa kanyang stories namin para magkaroon pa siya ng more inspired pa sa gagawin niya.
What a wonderful story. Steph and Angelo, thanks for being on the show, and more power.
Thank you so much po.
Bahagi na ng buhay nating mga Pilipino ang sports. Mula sa panahon ng unos, sa tamis ng tagumpay, sa kabila ng pagbabago ng buhay, ang Philippine Sports Commission ay patuloy na maglilingkod sa sambayanan at atletang Pilipino.
Paeng Nepomuceno has received so many awards and accolades, it's almost impossible to keep track. In this episode, he expresses his thanks for the unexpected honors he has received, even from the International Olympic Committee.
You've been in very tight situations, like for example, if I remember correctly, 1992, the third World Cup. You were trailing Grabowski
until the last frame.
In the final match, in the final frame. Did you feel that you had already lost it at that time?
Well, I was hoping that I would connect strikes in the last few frames, and I got a good break when he had a split.
Yes.
It's a little high. Oh, it's a terrible bad break.
And all I have to do in the last frame was make a mark. In bowling kasi, make a mark is either spare or strike.
Yeah.
And what happened was I released the ball and I was kind of sure I'd make a strike.
It's on its way, and there it is, all 10, the strike that he was looking for, and the sign of a man who says, I'm number one.
I won it that way. Parang he got the split, and then I followed it up with another strike, so double. That clinched the victory. Yeah, that's what you call a cliffhanger type of winning. My fourth World Cup naman, it was much easier. I won by 70 pins. Parang in the fourth or fifth frame pa lang, game over na, as connecting strikes early. So all my 4 World Cups were different stories. Some were close, like the first one. The second one, both of us beat the world record. The third one was close again. The fourth was parang the one with the biggest margin. In the World Cup, it's hard to go there playing it again because you have to be the national champion of your country. So it's not that easy to represent the Philippines in the World Cup. Although 2 years ago, I almost made it. I came in second to Merwin Tan. If not, I would have attempted. Out of the fun of it, I decided to join the national eliminations. So I think that was 2018 or 18.
You've won practically everything there is to win in bowling. Is there anything that you wish you had still done? Because you know some tournaments you're the youngest, you're the oldest. You know.
The Bill, the goal of every athlete is to be in his Hall of Fame. I achieved that 30 years ago, so everything that comes my way is like icing. And then I'm the one in the entrance of the Bowling Museum at Arlington, Texas, another bonus. There are so many great bowlers, they chose a Filipino to be there. So nothing more to ask. And I also received the highest award from the International Olympic Committee, which is the President's Trophy. The President's Trophy is special kasi bowling's not even an Olympic sport. And in 1999, they chose an bowling athlete to receive the highest award from the IOC because of my contribution in the sport. I'm just happy that I have achieved everything, whatever comes my way. Thank you.
Okay.
And recently, last year, they updated my career winnings. So Guinness Book of World Records honored me for the 4th time. Imagine at 62, I won among the best here in the Philippines, and Guinness recognized that feat.
What made you decide to go into coaching?
Well, I like to share whatever I've learned, and the United States Bowling Congress approached me in 13 years ago to teach their program. Before I coached the national team, I would certify coaches around the world for coaches that want to become coaches. And I did seminars using the training program of the United States Bowling Congress. That's the recognized certification if you want to be a professional coach. And then the Philippine Bowling Congress invited me if I wanted to help out the national team, which I did for 3 years. And then on Mondays, my giving back is teaching PE at UP. You saw me one time at Celebrity Sports Plaza when your daughter was swimming.
Yeah.
I would do that every Monday for the past 4 years until the pandemic. I would teach 3 loads. I'd drive all the way from Makati to go to Celebrity and do 3 loads of PE, 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4. That was every Monday for 4 years. That people do ways of giving back. That was my giving back, teaching freshman UP students every semester.
Okay.
So that's part of coaching. Then I had my academy in Eastwood, but it got postponed. The bowling now is still closed up to now.
Okay. Looking back, Paeng, you say you're semi-retired, and frankly, I find that hard to believe. But looking back, there's so much to tell. When we talk about the Paeng Nepomuceno story. For you personally, what were the most fulfilling and the happiest moments you've had as a bowler?
Well, the most fulfilling is when I compete abroad, and then it's in a country where there's Filipino support, and they come up to you after winning. They say, Paeng, maraming salamat sa pagpapanalo mo. Malaking bagay ito na nanalo ka. Maliit kami dito. That's fulfilling. So most World Cups, a lot of Filipino support. Some would drive cars and convoy to the site. Like in Paris, it was held in Le Mans. Le Mans was outside Paris. They drove an hour and a half. Convoy sila, 20, 30 cars.
Wow.
Good support. So those are some of the fulfilling moments. And then World 10 Pin Masters in London, same thing. You see the Philippine flag being hoisted in the grandstand. Saya.
Okay. Thank you very much, Paeng. Thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Happy to share my story.
All right.
Thank you for all the support this year, Bill. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bang. Take care. Stay safe.
Take care.
And that's this week's episode of Team Pilipinas. I'm Boyet Sison. Many thanks to G1 Launch Design Hotel for their support of Team Pilipinas in Baguio City. Join us every Saturday at 4 p.m. only here on PTV. Para sa bayan. And always remember, we are all on the same team. We are all Team Pilipinas.